religious or racial supremacist cult brandings as the guise for the need to do something with a baby penis will be grounds for exile at the very least. The very least, exile. But I don't think we should dump our trash on other nations, should we? That's very USA of you to suggest that. It's infecting me, isn't it? The good thing is once it's USA has infected me, it's uh, it's it's like injecting the poison back into your cell. Can you survive your own poison? God says no. So, do you want to take your own poison or do you want to stop making poison? And of course, drugging children is child abuse. Putting kids in government propaganda centers so you can watch TV sounds like child abuse too. But I'm sure you'll need to keep doing that, right? The people will have instant access to the government to initiate complaints against the government and corporations. I already went over that. Told you I was going to. Food. Corporations will be forced to stop lying with the help of the criminal FDA, like their sugar, alcohol, calorie lies, etc. Removal of excess toxins, additives, dyes, etc. will be almost mandatory and probably mandatory, and maybe put that up before the people. Beliefs, freedom of religion and freedom from others' religions. You can do what you want. Your religion can dictate that. And there, you see, God doesn't write books. So anyone with a book, you're probably brainwashed. God doesn't need to write a book. He'll talk to you directly. He wrote the world. Yeah, he didn't need a book. But Arabs can wear their headdresses, but so can anyone else because currently no white person is allowed to do anything. I can't wear a mask on my face so I can breathe for my health, but they can wear it for their invisible pal because terrorism is the government's name, and the government will terrorize selective different people different ways to make you feel like you have some sort of rights and to be able to brainwash other people that like it's a white nation and whites have all the rights or someone else or someone they hate, Arabs have all the rights. That's definitely part of the thing there is to give the Arabs a special, one little special right or a couple that that they focus on to make you hate them. So you genocide them, so you steal their land, so you steal their opium, so you steal their gold, destroy their history, and remove them because, according to these people, they are not humans, and it doesn't matter what you do to your pets. So, and Christians are allowed to be Christians. You can, not accept gay people in your churches if you feel that's not part of your Christianity. You can be whatever you want and make up whatever rule you want, really, as long as it's not, actively hurting someone. Gay people don't have to go to your church. That's just a whiny baby. It's a non-issue. It's distracting. It's actually part of the genocide to make people focus on Christianity when in fact Christianity in the nation is mostly anti everything else, and it is extremely satanic and Christianic. And look, they're genociding the entire Middle East in the name of Christianity. So they're not genociding any other land in the name of Satanism or Allahism or Buddhism. It's just different labels, different sections divided up differently so they can pull different mind games on different people using different word games. It's complex, but it's not. It's rather simple once you know that it's going on and it's the same thing. So you know to look for it here, you know to look for it there, and you know to look for it there, and it's just like 6 divisions here, 6 divisions there, 6 divisions there. It's actually very simple at the end of the day. That's where questioning the time comes in, because it's such a non-complex world that it could have been built rather easily, rather fast, and not too long ago, because it hasn't changed much. Goods, services, like software corporations, they'll be forced to pay. I think I may have already went over this, but they'll be forced to pay for your time wasted to learn their new scheme, to sell you new OS and make the old obsolete. They've always got some scheme to enslave you and murder you under the guise of different words. Again, language tricks. They think they're so smart because they have changed the language, but they are not smart. They are hard. These people in control. Bill Gates hardly knows English compared to me. He can't play word games with me. You know, Steve Jobs can't play word games with anyone. He's dead. Google's owners can't play word games with me. They speak on like a 3rd grade level. They can't do this. You can't do that. They will easily be destroyed. If I was some sort of pedophile, terrorist, enslaver, scumbag, I'd be a great lawyer. My lawyers were like, they literally turned courtrooms into circus cases. People were laughing during serious cases. The jurors were laughing. They were telling jokes during a very serious case. Or people were threatening to kill everyone. It made it seem like non-legit. People were threatening to kill my lawyers. Supposedly. And people were threatening to kill everyone else in my family. And then they came looking for me. So my lawyers making people laugh probably wasn't the coolest thing ever, because it had some serious repercussions. Okay, and I kind of keep touching this. Time energy. It's the same thing. Time, energy, and time, energy, and life force. It's the same thing. Your time is cut short by being killed. Your life force is cut short by being killed. I'm almost done. So the energy of the world, your life, it's all energy. Your life is built upon the energy. Energy is required for the life to move on. So it's all the same stuff. Kind of ties into some of the other stuff I said, like corporations having to reimburse you when they waste your time and lead you in circles and develop systems to waste your time. Obviously, systems waste your time. I have plenty of these systems recorded. I have plenty of these people recorded. I've been recording these people for a long, long time. The humans hate this. There's something about the humans. It's almost as if they are the problem themselves, but I'm reaching out and giving them a chance to stand up and destroy the demons. I'm not sure how we tell apart the humans from the demons, but I mean, there are plenty of them who have already shown their allegiance with the demons, and we can, I name many of them, and those who show their allegiance will pay the price. So, time, energy. Those wasting your time are killing you. This is not a stretch of the imagination, unless your life is useless and your death doesn't matter. Your time is your life. Now, many of you, your time is just watching TV, and I feel sorry for you, and I feel sorry that you have devalued your life to nothing. There are, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. But for everyone else who values, who has some sort of ability, skill set, goals, uh, the talent they hone, things they do, hobbies, those wasting your time are killing you. They're draining your life force with an agenda. Person or corporation, government agent or civilian. Many people use this tactic to legally, again, the legal system is put in place with these words by the demons. The demons have created all this stuff. Many people use this tactic to legally murder and rob you of your life. We must enact laws to prevent so-called friends, so-called family, and so-called strangers in government from murdering you slowly. And many of you act like you've never had any life experience and you've never left your house or talked to anyone. And I guess I feel bad, like you never had people who said they were your family. You never. Although that's weird because everyone, like all those people act like that, but everyone's breeding and having kids. It's like, how do you not have anyone around you if you're breeding and having kids? It makes no sense, clearly. Um, you know, maybe you really are secluded and you've never dealt with anyone, you've never met a person, you don't know how they do it. But many people, they like to just destroy you by taking your time. Like I learned this from being this way. Is one of their tools is to simply come to my page and talk about nonsense, and not just my page. They come all over the web and find me, and then they talk about nonsense, and I'll tell them, I'll be like, hey, that's nonsense. Like, let's not. I'll test it different ways. It's almost like it's a concerted effort. It's very much like it's a concerted effort just to waste my time on many levels. And they think murder is funny, but I kind of do too. I mean, I watch a good horror flick, and these days it makes me laugh. But that's because I've been in USA too long. I've been around these people, and their abuse has led me to think it's natural and cute and funny. And you gotta fight that off. You gotta fight the demons off. I mean, I try to. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should be like more like the rest of the Americans and just be a demon 24 frickin' 7. And only worry about me, and only worry about TV and cheeseburgers, and boy, I'm glad I don't have to live around those backwards people. And oh boy, let's go spread some Christianity to those backwards people. Give them some cool mirrors for their land. But in reality, people stalking you are dangerous, psychopathic individuals who will stab you, they will assault you, they will suck your life force 24/7 as if they gain life force from sucking your life. The corporations do this as if there is something to gain from sucking your life, and there is for them to sell you a new product. But there's a side effect, and we will find a way to change time, energy into a currency. This is probably the most likely route we will go. Time energy will be a currency unit. I semi thought I invented this. And then a week later, one of the magicians came up with this in a cast. So clearly I'm not the only one who thinks that or can recognize it, but it was like a person who like totally detailed how they work hard and everything, and how time would be the future currency, like units of time. And that is great because there are people, not just corporations, but especially banks and all corporations. I guess I just deal with banks a lot, right? Maybe. Unfortunately. I try not to deal with anyone, but I'm forced to because that this could changing a password. Like they always do this. They always, like Steam, all sorts of corporations will force you to change your passwords all the time, and it's like I literally have to spend hell. I probably spent $10,000 a year easily just changing passwords because they force me to, and then they play games with it too. And then that's if I'm devaluing my life to a low cost, $10,000 a year. But they think it's a game. I confront them about it, and they think it's funny. Some people have reverted to censoring me, banning me, and outright just disconnecting me when I'm trying to discuss what they're doing to me. They think it's funny. They think I'm still their little slave monkey. And it is funny because they're safe. They're safe behind their computers, behind their telephones. They're safe out of kicking distance because they would never do this in the real world. Some people do. Now, I've had women, definitely, who try to do this. And I'm not even sure, really, how many of these so-called women are like real women versus them. Because they'll come with some of the same tactics, and then it's like one of them like wasted a lot of my time and line. They come with these tactics where they just need to stall you, and it's like, back in my day, people who were going to like be lovers or mates, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, they actually hung out with each other. They didn't just talk on the internet 24/7, 24/7, 24/7, 24/7. There was like something to a relationship other than just talking about stupid shit on the internet and talking about shit that doesn't matter to anyone, and it is not going to matter. Like I can sit there and tell people, hey, I don't believe anything you say, and if it's on the internet, and they don't care. They just want to keep talking, and that ties back into the people who just seem to want to keep wasting my time about nonsense. After I already told them, like, hey, that's nonsense. It's like they're Well, no, 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 no. What do you mean? And then they'll come back with the same shit like a week later, like the same thing. And then I just had someone try to contact me who hasn't talked to me in years, and it's like, it's kind of like the same thing. And they all, many of them seem tied in together. I'm trying to figure how that works, like how they all know each other are stalking me, and they all report to me that the other ones are stalking me. Some of them like report to me where I just was, even though they're like way far away, and the only way they know where I just was they were talking to the other person I was with, who claims they don't know him for the most part, and like people who like really shouldn't even be talking to me, and are like a dying, a dead past, like I forgot it even existed, or sometimes it's just the stupid shit, and it's like it's very confusing. But there's definitely, you can tell by following their tactics, the government, the alien, whatever you call them, their tactics. It's about stealing your energy, is about murdering you. It's about stealing your life. It's about turning you into a better slave so they can control you more. It's about kidnapping you. It's about kidnapping your mind. It's about destroying your mind. The counts of where this waste goes is like pretty weird, especially when you tie it into the fact that some of them seem to be people who have personal information, and they're just like there to do it, but they're hiding behind this or that for this or that reason, and it's just like, they've always had this interest in me. So maybe this ties into gang stalking. Maybe I should sum this up as a gang stalking thing. There's definitely gang stalking. They're gang stalking hardcore, and gang stalkers should be tried under capital crimes. Gang stalking is a capital crime. Anyone involved in that is a terrorist. They're trying to subvert the people of the nation. Whoever they're gang stalking, especially if they're doing it because, like, for instance, me. They seem to have known a long time ago I was going to be involved in politics. That's why they came to recruit me to hang out with Trump. It was because they wanted to, probably because they wanted to, leash me early and make me one of the Illuminati puppets early on. But I do things my own way. And my own way means I don't work for the enemy, right? So I'm not going to go hang out with Donald Trump. And I'm not going to hang out with anyone who does hang out with Donald Trump. I guess I did, right? Because they were like really high up person. I got kind of confused. I wasn't sure that they were a government agent for a while. And the whole situation felt weird to me. But looking back, it was quite a waste, and it went nowhere. But the waste of time, they successfully wasted much of my time, and they destroyed my life in the process. I had people, this agent posed as my lover, my girlfriend, but they only came to hang out with me every now and then for years. It was like once a month or something like that. One day a month they would come into Ohio. They would come back from Washington, D.C. to come hang out with me. So I was like tied down with this person this whole time. While like real people were asking to get married to me. And it's like, man, like they wasted my time on purpose, like to to redirect my life, but they've been doing that to me my whole life in different situations. Like did I mention when I was a kid? I think I barely did. And they would isolate me because I was smarter than everyone else, was their excuse, which I was. I mean, I clearly overheard them talking to the other kids about other things. You know, the other kids were like way behind me. And the other kids weren't even interested. They were never going to catch up. So that was like kind of weird. They were like, we're going to set you over here and maybe the other kids will catch up. And it's like, even as like a 4-year-old, I could understand they're not catching up. And, but looking back on it, like it was clear that even an imbecile could understand that the goal was not to make people catch up to me. The goal, I mean, when you put me aside with a book, like I'm going to go further. I guess maybe that's why they eventually took me out of that situation and put me aside with Legos. Although I often wonder, maybe they just wanted to see what I would build. And it's like, whatever. But whatever it was, they've been wasting this time forever. So the demons waste your time to kill you, to take your life from you, to make it something else, to mold it into what they want, which is like a good goy, like a serpent with its head crushed. You're the best serpent, but now you're the best serpent with your head crushed and filled with mush. We just filled your head with Legos, you freaking moron. So they have this repeated pattern of energy abuse, and and it's the same thing to them. It's the same thing to them. Energy is life. Energy and time is life, and it's directly related to murder. And they know this. They implement this, but they control the government, so they don't talk about this stuff. They control the science cult, so they don't talk about this stuff. They control the atheist cult, so they don't talk about that stuff. They control the religious cults, so they don't allow the religious cults to talk about anything. But it's there, and it's. I hate to include this in the presidential agenda because you guys don't know anything about it yet. But it's actually pretty easily explained if you can grasp anything basic. And if you don't think your time and energy is your life, then why are you a slave? Why don't you stop being a slave? You're selling it to someone, aren't you? For like 15 cents an hour? You're Mick flipping and you're Mick arm barring, for 17 cents an hour, your time. Sure, you're devaluing your life like crazy. I mean, if you think you're worth $7 an hour, bro, I feel sorry because you're either you're brainwashed, and if you're not a brainwashed, you're probably one of them, and you're a predator, just lying and you know better, and lying and you know you're actually trying to siphon and steal energy, but I can tell you they're doing it, and I notice it mostly because the last 10 years it was one of their first tactics they would bring in. They actually fell off that tactic for many years, but for many years they tried to bring it out, but it caused negative energy buildup in me because I knew something was going on and I was kind of close to it, but it was just eating at me that it was happening, and it's like, man, my whole life is being taken away from me, but how and why? Like, I wasn't able to word it. See, that's why knowing these words, the time energy word, that's why knowing it and understanding the world is energy and everything is built upon energy, and energy is everything, the units of life. Knowing that is important, because simply taking that language from you makes you not understand it at all. If I just give you a mirror and I never tell you what, like Terrence McKenna said something like this other day. If I just give you an item and I never name it and never tell you what it's for, it's useless. If I give a baby a computer, if I give a cat a computer, what does it do? It lays on it. It's a heater. The cat lays on the computer, it's a heater, and then the computer overheats and dies. Is the computer's job a heater? The computer can do so much more than be a heater, but you've relegated your life to being a heater. A waste of energy, a waste of purpose. And they try to relegate your life to being a heater when it's a complex computer. It's complex things all happening at once. But you think a Mick armbar and a Mick double stack is everything, and it's worth $7. But your life ain't worth $7, is it? I'll give you $7 right now if you would. I need some dishes done. Maybe I still got one pan I ain't cooked. I ain't cleaned yet, but wait till the end of the day. Come on over. I'll have some more for you, right? I guess I gotta clean that pan up, that other pan too. Now, once I get the pot roast out of it. But that's it, man. The time energy is very complex, and we have to figure out what they're doing there, because they're robbing people of it, and they're definitely selling you, the human species, up the river in relation to this time energy thing. They turn you into complete slaves. You've turned yourselves into slaves too, and I wouldn't doubt you. You take all these things and you use them to enslave and harm others. So that's another thing we need to watch out for, as God closes in and decides and shifts judgment to the people in this nation and world who it belongs upon, then you're going to be judged. You're going to have that upon you. You're going to be it doesn't matter if you don't believe it, you're going to pay for continually being a demon. If you can't learn how to act right. So if you keep enslaving people, you keep kidnapping them, you keep laughing at your circus monkeys you've collected over the years and tried to genocide and kill off and turn into your, time energy cattle that you suck the life from, there's definitely an end to all this coming soon. It's coming. That was the whole purpose of the creation, was for it to come to fruition. And I'm telling you the plans, I'm telling you answers right now to help maybe stop these things from coming that are coming. But not sure anyone cares, really. The Empire citizens seem to be part of it. They seem to be vampires themselves. It's like once you're bitten by them, you become one of them. Very bad. They use like the media to bite you too. It's not like they come up to you and kiss your cheek and you're like, baby, I love it. Vampire kiss. They just beam it straight to your head. And you're like, yeah, Ellen DeGenerate, yeah, vampire kisses. Ooh, the Jerry Springer. Okay, and so let's close. Let's get some closure here. Finance slash citizens. This is like, if I organize this stuff, what I would organize it at. People who work to build the nation will benefit first. Those of us inside the nation are not benefiting as much as those being brought in from the outside. Many of you are claiming, and I can see that they steal the money that we've stolen from everyone else and give it to everyone else. Many times to try to re-brainwash them. Like they'll steal money from Africa, enslave Africa, and then they'll give some donation in Palestine and Syria and Iraq, and then they'll give some funds back to them to warp their brains into thinking we're their friends and we're not going to do anything because they hope they've erased their minds and stolen enough of their time and energy to kill them and to kill their brains so they can't remember what's going on. That seems to be a repeated human pattern too, to just try to talk over what you've said and done. It's like, if I just keep talking, they'll forget. You know, I'll be able to get them to let their guard down again, and then I can steal more diamond mines from them. Turn them into my slave again. Make them throw balls through hoops instead of throw cotton into baskets. People who work to build the nation will benefit first. Some of y'all complain you work so hard and you get nothing. Well, slave, let me tell you. There's a couple answers to that. First of all, you think you're worth $7 an hour, and you want to treat everyone else like they're worth 10 cents an hour. So, are you going to stop whining like a baby? Or what? No. I think a lot of people's pure enjoyment in this empire, as I said, is the murder and enslavement. They enjoy enslaving people and turning them into circus monkeys. They enjoy demeaning other people and laughing at them. They enjoy genociding populations to steal their drugs and then mark up the prices so they can buy more fancy vehicles and live on more freshly paved roads. I think many of them really, really enjoy it. Now they're scared to tell you that, but just watch them. Don't ask people questions, and don't listen to them when they answer a question that you didn't ask of them, because or entirely listen to that, because when a person answers a question you didn't ask for them, they are defending themselves from something that they feel applies to them. So there you go. Any methods of handouts are given to those who have no place in this nation, like the rich oligarchs, and made impossible to obtain by the slave laborers who work the hardest and longest manual labor. Although in some cases, the circus monkeys who punch each other's head into oblivion, they get paid kind of good, but they get robbed also. Like the record producers and the boxing manager, I'm sure, rob them as well. Especially once they're brain dead from getting punched so much. Yeah, it's probably easy to rob a brain dead person. With all that said, you think they're going to put me on TV? You think terrorists are going to not fear me? Do you really think that? Terrorists are fucking happy, God, excited. They're they are pretty. The people I've been dealing with are pretty stupid. So or at least they act that way. It makes me wonder if it's not a deception. Um, I'm not sure if they fully understand, if they could fully understand what I'm saying or not. But if they do, they're not going to want to, just like they've been hiding me for a long time, they're not going to want to put it on air. They're not going to want to put me in Breitbart, just like they didn't when they interviewed me. They're not going to want to put me on NBC, CBS, channel, NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox. Although I don't think I've seen Fox actually, but other people, I'm pretty sure I went by their booths and they definitely seen it. I made sure they were all looking at me and seeing what I was saying. That was kind of the whole point, was me to go get their attention, and the other people just in the way, on the way, spoke with me, and I spoke with them. So the time has come for change. The enslavers and genociders are always cleansed by God. He always, it sounds like in history, he utterly destroys these people, and somehow a few roaches escape to create the next Roach Motel, satanic or whatever. I hate using that word because it's like they've designed it so if you use these religious cult words, you alienate certain populations. But they've also designed it so my face is the face of one of these religions, and so it instantly alienates me against people, which is oddly the group of people who go in the street and start chopping off heads of murderers and pedophiles, and in defense of me if anyone ever tries to kidnap me again. So I don't know what to think of that. That's pretty raw that the youth and the people with some balls are look at me and see an evil person they should hang on a cross. It's almost like they've set it all up in advance, right? Or they went back through time to manipulate it. But we can do whatever we want here, and what we're going to do is we're going to change all this. We're going to attempt to. Now, I don't think that's God's plan. I'm going to try, and He's going to let me. But we've already been trying this now, haven't we? And no one cares. Everyone wants to keep enslaving, keep murdering, keep genociding, keep on keeping on the whole kit and caboodle. And so I strongly recommend, in case this does get out there, in case they let this get out there, I recommend all of you prepare for war on a global scale. Get rid of bad people in your family. People who can't be trusted. People who you know are the bad people. The people who have betrayed you in the past, and people who have isolated you, especially those of you who are more advanced. Stop being a sissy. Stop letting your emotions stop letting their spell words like family and friends get in the way of shit. When these family and friends start betraying you and start working for the demons, they are no longer family or friends. They are possessed by the demon. You cannot allow that into your house. You cannot allow those who betray and enslave you around you ever, not even just for this, not even for these final not even for this final showdown, this end time, but it needs to be done to clean up the act, to clean up your act, to clean up your bloodlines, to clean up your circle, right? If you have an infected toe with gangrene, you have to cut it off. You don't cut it off and keep it in a box for a rainy day. Like, we'll put gangrene over there in the corner. No, you burn it. You get rid of it. Burn offering. Might as well, right? So, if this gets out there, and I'm going to try really hard this year to get their attention, and at the same time, I'm also probably going to be leaving America. So you guys let me know if they want to get a hold of me. I mean, for now, I will be just about ready to leave. But I don't feel it's safe, and I'm pretty sure after this they're going to really try to play their little anti-human game with me, and especially if they hide it, they'll definitely know. So I will have to travel abroad, and I'm going to go teach the other people. I really feel like they're censoring me, and they're not allowing me to get out. And I don't think Americans or USA people are ever going to change. They have too much streets of gold and, free cotton picked type lifestyle, enslave everyone else to build my fancy mansion. These people aren't going to do anything. But if we get my name out there, we get my face out there and my message out there, we can stand a chance. Hell, I could win any debate versus any of these morons they put out there. They're all just like so far below me because they're all stuck on some sort of mentally inept level of just obsession with being psychic vampires and energy demons and liars and scumbag. If I get on the stage with these people in a debate, the debate's over as long as they don't, the media owners don't manipulate what's allowed. And you can bet they'll try that, but you can bet that I'm like well prepared. And I've been dealing with debating for a while, so it's not really like something I'll sweat. It'll be too easy. It'll be too easy. The hard part will be dodging the bullet when they try to assassinate me when I'm on the stage of one of these places. That would be the only hard part, right? But is that even hard? Can I dodge bullets? Who knows? We'll find out if it gets that far, won't we? We probably will be finding out. But at the end of the day, I think it would be good to debate them, to just show the world that I will crush anyone in any sort of debate, really. I mean, I have to say that because it's like the people who want to debate on my level about what I talk about, they don't want to debate me at all. So it's like, well, hey, maybe I should open the debate to anything. How about open heart surgery? I don't even know how to spell that right, do I? Yet alone, I don't know how it's done or anything. Like, maybe you could win a debate about that with me. Could you? Could you? But with these clowns, these Trump clowns and these Clinton clowns, I mean, listen to what I'm saying. They, they can't debate any of that. They can't pull up. They can only pick. They'll pick parts from what I'm saying, and then they'll use it in their rhetoric as if they invented it, just like Trump had did, to corral people. So think about that. You guys want to help me? Are you guys with me? Is anyone with me? Is it just me versus the humans? Like the humans really are completely working for the demons? That's a a fucking oops. That's a mighty fine praise God has given me to decide to pit me alone versus the entire empire. Boy, I mean, I I'm not even mad at that. Just like, I'm just confused as to who I am if this is where this stuff is going. And although we're reaching this final point here, I am still unsure of my immortality. I'm still unsure of my limits. I've seen limits before, but I know I've also broke limits at the same time. And man, things gonna change one way or another. And either way, I'll be loving it because I'm gonna be on the changing end of things. If it has to be God pits all nations against the terrorist empire, the kidnappers, the genociders, and their slave population who loves nothing more than genocide. Their demon population. I hate calling them slaves because it's like, at the end of the day, you're not a slave if you're a participant. If you know you're a slave and you're a participant and you don't like want to end the slavery, you're a participant. If you know you're a slave and you enjoy being a slave, you're a participant. Now, if you're a slave but you're also a demon, then you're a participant. I'm not sure where this is going to go, but I suggest that people really prepare for a disaster to come because they're not going to allow someone like me to change things. Do you understand that? What do you? Some of you might be like brand new to this politics thing. Maybe you've never seen an election cycle before. I suppose most people who have seen 2 election cycles have completely stopped talking about it, and you got no reason to be on my page anymore. Because they say people drop out after that because they see it's a scam. But you see, I'm here offering one last olive branch. I'm putting my life on the line here so we can change all this. So we can attempt to change it for the first time in the history of the world. We can redirect where the empire has went. We can attempt to pull it out of the hole it's dug itself into so deservedly because it's had to dig this hole so it can hide. And you know what? I'm not sure if that might be an evil action because I might be protecting a people from the imminence that God has already planned for them. But maybe we can change it this one time. Maybe we can change it. Maybe we can change the course of the history. And I have the answers. Tell me where I'm wrong. I adjust. I'm not like everyone else. I change. I can learn. I can understand. we can change all this. If we can, it will be changed for you. The world will recycle you. It does. It's on a course of destruction. It's the same course it always falls back into. And the signs are all there. They brag it's there. You don't need a billion signs, but it helps to have them all, doesn't it? And they're all there. So, my best bet is they're going to completely try to sweep me under the rug, as they always do. And besides, who wants it? Here I am telling you answers that probably don't sit very well with you because you feel you participated in much of it. I'm offering forgiveness for the few, the brave, right? But again, I'm not sure how much that forgiveness is offered by those who control this realm, because is it me? If it's not me, then it's someone else, right? And so I can't necessarily speak for them when they won't tell me word for word everything, but they're allowing me to do this. But that doesn't mean they're going to allow it to get off my net, off my page, really. So I strongly recommend for people to prepare for war on a global scale, because that's the way things are going, and that the rest of the world, that is their answer to this, the murderers and enslavers and genocide, and it's justly so. They what type of fool sits around and let people enslave and genocide their population and rob them continually, and then rob all their allies and genocide and enslave their allies in a clear effort to wipe out their allies, to weaken them even. It's not even like a hidden agenda anymore. It's just openly. So I recommend people prepare for stuff to change. They only know how to kill and rob. If I get out of the box, this will be their answer to me. They've never known any other tools. They don't know any other tools. Even if it does make me seem more legit, if they come to kidnap me, kill me, rob me, blackmail me, that just makes me look more legit. You see? I sound like a crazy person, except for I have really intelligent ideas, don't I? That's a problem. In between the crazy talk, in between the sarcasm, which I have plenty of that littered throughout my internet history, don't I? In between that, there's an underlying meaning that is there, and it's potent. Tell me everything I just said is not the answer. That's the beginning. I just came up with that in a couple hours. Probably like a half hour. Serious. I was cooking breakfast and I fucking charted that out, bro. And that's, I'm sure, their weak point is me. That's why they ignore me when I go out, because I have too much to offer. I say too intelligent of things, and it piques the human interest when I can offer them insight into things they've never been allowed to touch, into ideas they know exist, but are not allowed to be displayed. Just like Trump piqued the interest by talking about putting criminals in the government behind bars. But then he went back on that. Almost as if they blackmailed him. But if you can't explain his blackmail like I have, then you should not fall back on that. You should assume otherwise. Now, me? Can they blackmail me? Maybe I'm already working for them. I sold myself out to work for you guys a long time ago. I sold myself out. I was given a chance to go be with them, to go work for them. I've shown you that. I've shown you my memorabilia. Hold on. Look at that. It's that delicious Trump ice. You can actually buy that online. That's actually, you can, because people are stealing it from his fucking place and selling it. But, I was offered to be among these people. And I didn't trust them at all. And I felt my best method of securing your trust was to not end up in their inner circle. Just like when you guys seen Macron was in their inner circle, you gladly sold out France to the Red Coat America. So I sold my life out up the river. I sold my life up the river to come to this point, to where I could say, hey, I've got these answers and I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track, but we need to do something about it because they have been on to me way longer than you have. And I also ask for those who are on my side to help protect me at this point, because this is bound to change things. I am moving forward in many ways right now.